While 2025 was set to be a great year for Kings Dominion, being their 50th year anniversary, a brand new roller coaster, all sorts of things were looking up for the park. But over the past few days, that has all just hit a wall. We're going to talk about everything that there is to know and give all our opinions about it in this video. How's it going, everyone? We are Beach Cliff Studios. A quick thing before we get into this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. You know all those things to do. Plus, a huge shout out to all our channel members. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, go down. There's a link in the description, and you can join one of two tiers. You get things like exclusive videos, pictures, shout outs, stuff like that, and you help out our channel a ton. So thank you to all our channel members. So now that all that stuff is out of the way, let's get into this video. Kings Dominion has a lot of things going on over the past few days. We're going to talk about that. But first, they were getting into their 50th year anniversary, and they had a brand new B&M launched wing coaster coming in, Rapterra.
Yeah.
Everyone was excited for this year.
Yeah. I mean, anytime you get a big brand new coaster, it's going to be exciting, and they're finally getting a replacement for Volcano, which got removed in 2018?
Yeah, 18 or 19, something like that.
So it's been a while, and they're finally getting a replacement for it.
And for their 50th year anniversary, besides a brand new roller coaster, they're going to have things like brand new shows, specialty food, and stuff like that. Just a huge celebration all year. But unfortunately, some things started to take a turn for the worse for Kings Dominion. A few days ago, it was announced that some full-time employees were laid off from their positions. Now, I read that someone that got laid off said that they assumed that there was about like 20, 25 or so people that ended up losing their jobs. Not sure exactly what departments or anything like that, but there are definitely some full-time employees that lose their jobs. Anytime something like that happens, it's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. It does happen, but like you kind of like wonder, okay, like why are we losing full-time employees? Especially since the new Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, they seem to be cutting costs like across the board at all sorts of parks. And then today, on January 29th, Kings Dominion released their opening day, their pass holder preview day, and their schedule for 2025. And people thought that was really strange that Winterfest was absent from the schedule. In case you don't know what Winterfest is, it's something that certain Legacy Cedar Fair parks have done around the holiday season. Certain parks like Kings Dominion, Carowinds, Kings Island, stuff like that, they have limited ride availability and whatever. It's just their holiday event to extend the park hours into like around like New Year's or something like that. Yeah,
they always have some rides open, not all of them, but they always have lights and caroling and all sorts of stuff like that.
But lo and behold, Kings Dominion announced officially that they will not be bringing back their Winterfest event for 2025, claiming that they're going to be focusing more on like other events and other attractions or whatever. So I don't know what those like new things are. Maybe they spent too much money on some of their 50th anniversary stuff, and now they can't afford to do Winterfest. Maybe it wasn't a popular event. Or maybe all this stuff is just kind of equaling out to be that Kings Dominion is just not a very profitable park for the new Six Flags chain. If you're laying off like 20 or so people, full-time staff, that's huge. That's a huge cost-saving thing. And then getting rid of a huge event like Winterfest, that's something that you just don't do overnight, especially since we're only a few years removed from Kings Dominion going year-round.
Right.
Remember, 1 year, Carowinds and Kings Dominion tried to do year-round operations just on the weekends, and then that absolutely flopped.
Yeah.
And they only did it for 1 year. And now, all of a sudden, now they're going to be closing after their haunt event.
Yeah, so their operating season, they tried to make it longer, and then it went back to what it normally is, and now it's shorter.
Now, more than likely, this is just cost-cutting. Roller coasters have been getting removed left and right, including Anaconda at Kings Dominion. So they're losing a lot of stuff at that park. But can't help, I don't think that this is the case, but can't help but bring up the fact that they might be inching towards moving this park out of the chain. Mm-hmm. Because it is known that the new Six Flags company is looking to get rid of some parks.
Yeah.
And then Like, it would be easy to say, okay, there's a few smaller, less profitable parks that they could be moving on from. But if you're like a chain and you want to buy, like, say, Darien Lake or something like that, you might also ask for a more, like, bigger park or something.
It's not always realistic just to say, okay, they're going to sell the small parks off. Like, sometimes it happens where they will sell off one of their bigger parks.
Like, a chain might insist on one of their bigger parks being added on. So could that be what's going on with King's Dominion? Could they be cutting a lot of costs and trying to, like, slim things down to the point where they're like, okay, operating costs, like, because when they sell the park, they can say operating costs are just this much and makes it look more appealing to a potential buyer. Now, like I said, I don't think, neither of us think that this is the most realistic option.
Right, because, I mean, they literally are getting a brand new coaster this year. They're getting Raptura, and it's not like they're getting a small family coaster. They're getting a B&M launch coaster, and those are expensive.
Yeah, so they're investing in the park. The only thing could be that this was already planned.
Right.
These coasters are planned like a few years in advance.
Right. I mean, it's like California's Great America. I mean, it's kind of a different situation, but they got Railblazer, and then it turns out that they're gonna sell the land, or try to. They
already sold the land.
Oh, right, but they sold the land right after they got a brand new coaster. So, obviously, it's a slightly different situation, and you could look at it like Railblazer is a lot cheaper, so it's not as big of a deal.
Exactly.
But it's still kind of similar.
And King's Dominion, being just like an hour or so away from Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and not being far from Six Flags America, it could be a park that the new Six Flags chain looks at as expendable or something. I don't know. It's something to think about, go over in your head or whatever. But like I said, I think that's the least likely option of what's going to happen. More than likely, King's Dominion is just underperforming as a park.
Yeah.
Not bringing in the money that they think that it should or wanted to. So now they're like, okay, you guys are losing all sorts of, like, your guys' budget is going from here to here. So do what you have to do to make that budget work. Yeah. And one of the things would be getting rid of the event Winterfest. Now, if you look online, a lot of people have issues with this because King's Dominion has been selling passes saying, okay, well, this pass gets you just through Labor Day. I think it's their silver pass or something. And then their gold and prestige, they get you Haunt and Winterfest. So they've been selling this, selling Winterfest as one of their events.
Yeah.
And that's what you're paying for. So people are now saying, okay, we're not getting what we paid for.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Haunt and Winterfest. Yep. So that's half the stuff that you're not getting. So I'm assuming that they would have to do something about it. Can people like sue or something? I don't know. Well,
the unfortunate thing for people like us and you guys watching this video is that, like, in 2020, whenever people tried to sue Cedar Fair over the reduced operations and having to pay for a full season pass, even though like parks like Cedar Point were only open like a portion of the time, the Ohio Supreme Court came in and said, basically what you get is something called a revocable license. So the contract of you buying a season pass, whenever, whatever it is, King's Dominion or whatever park it is, gives you that pass. They basically said, okay, they fulfilled their end of the contract. And then they offer, as long as they offer some sort of reasonable dates. So losing out on like a few select days in the winter months, I don't see any lawsuit going through and succeeding based on what the Ohio Supreme Court did. Now this is Virginia. Completely different state.
Could it be similar to what's going on with Kennywood, where people wanted refunds for their pass, or because Kennywood was marketing, obviously Steel Current, and then Steel Current was closed all of this past year,
Yep.
and people were trying to sue them. Is it something similar to that?
I mean, it could be, but I haven't heard the results.
I don't know what happened with that.
I mean, these lawsuits take a long time, so the lawsuit could very well not even be like completed yet. But that's why I called back to Cedar Point, because that's the most relevant thing that I could think of.
Right.
It's reduced time in the operating schedule, and people saying, well, I paid for this and didn't get this.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out for people like you and me in that case. So who knows if anyone, I mean, people are mad. So who knows if a lawsuit is actually going to come of this. But either way, we just wanted to get this information out there, give our opinions on it. Do you have anything else that you want to like finish up?
Mm-mm.
So that is it. Quick recap. King's Dominion, no more Winterfest. Nice recap. Huh? Yeah, so that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, like we said earlier, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that we said earlier at the beginning of the video. I'd like to thank you for coming and joining us, and we'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios.